Greetings, Warriors. All right. I took one for the team this week. Madam Web. Sucked again. Superhero films, it's killing me, right? I waited my entire life as a kid. Now, remember, as a kid, started with the Filmation motion comics that Marvel had back in the 60s, right? They were pretty good. They weren't great, but it was motion comics, right? Captain America, Fantastic Four, and then from that, we went into the 80s where we had the Incredible Hulk, right? Which that TV series was great. But then they had the Doctor Strange movie. It was more strange than it was superhero-ish. And then they had the Spider-Man TV series. That was pretty good. But then again, right, when David Banner, not Bruce Banner, because in the TV series he was David Banner because Bruce sounded too gay. That's the way it was. Don't throw me hate. That's what they put out there, okay? But, the Incredible Hulk was he was like 6'2", 6'3", big, bulky dude. But everybody knows that the Hulk is like 10 foot tall. He's a monster, okay? So it was better than what we had before, but it was not the best. And then we got the Captain America trilogy of movies, which sucked. Oh, God. One came out in 79. One came out in, I think, 89. Next one came out in 91. And they were horrible. Because what happened was Marvel had sold some of their movie rights to these movies, to these other companies. And they had to make a movie, right? Otherwise, they lost the rights, right? No matter how bad it was. Just look at the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. I'm going to do a review on that one. That was horrible. That one is actually so bad it's funny. As opposed to Madam Web, was it just bad? B-A-D. Okay. So Sony what they're trying to do is they're trying to set up their own universe, right? So they had Morbius, right? Oh my God. At the beginning and the end were okay, but everything in between was horrible. There was no matchup, right? And then, Venom. Venom was actually pretty good. I liked Venom, okay? But then they come up with Madam Web. Now, Madam Web is supposed to set up the entire live-action Spider-Verse, right? And I'm going to go over the last Spider-Verse movie, which was fantastic. They have a much better time at making animated movies than they do regular movies, even though the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, I like them. Andrew Garfield, it was good, right? It was good. Live action was good. Andrew Garfield's an actor, right? But they didn't suck, okay? They get Madam Web. Enters Madam Web. All right, so basically, what's the whole deal with Madam Web? Well, Madam Web is pretty much at the center of the Spider-Verse, right? And she's the one that sort of in the comics, was putting Peter Parker in certain situations so he could prove to himself how good he was. And he got to see some of the other universes, right? The other, where there's Spider Dog and Spider Hog and Spider Pig and Spider Horse. And yeah, you get it, okay? But the way they put it together just sucks. So basically, right, you got Dakota Fanning, right? And she is the daughter of this doctor who was obsessed. She wanted to find this specific spider down in Peru where this spider's venom, right, is supposed to be able to cure cancer and all that kind of stuff. So she went down and she had a sidekick with her, right? And and this guy, right, his name was Ezekiel Sims, and he was in it for the money, she was in it for the science, right? And they go down and they find this spider. They go to get the, they go to get the spider, and then these spider people, they're indigenous people down there, right? come crawling out of the trees, and these were mythical people, come crawling out of the trees, right? And go after these two, Sims and Constance Webb, that's her name, to get the spider that they were trying to take. And what happens, right? It just, she's pregnant with Dakota Fanning, right? And her name's Cassie, right? And Cassie Webb. And she has the baby, right? And then and then this other guy takes them back to New York, and she's raised as a permanent, right? Okay. So basically, for the baby to be born, they had to give some of the spider venom to her mom, right? Because she was dying. Okay. So they give her the venom, right? Then the venom gets in to, the baby, right? Cassie Webb, boom. Hence, Cassie Webb is now going to be Madam Webb in the future. We don't know that yet. Then it goes up to New York, right? Now, Cassie Webb's growing up, and her partner is Ben Parker. Okay, Uncle Ben. All right. They're trying to weave everything together, right? And they do a lot about Ben is single. He hasn't met, he hasn't met May yet, right? But he's spending a lot of time with his sister-in-law, right? Who's pregnant with a baby they're going to name Peter Parker. So you got Madam Webb is a partner in an ambulance with Ben Parker, okay? And Ben Parker's going to be the uncle of Peter Parker, who's going to be born by the end of the movie, right? So you got the plot, okay? Which was very, very well crappy put together. But then what happens is so Cassie starts having these feelings, sort of like spider sense, I guess. And she just happens to be down at the at Central Station, right? And there's these three girls, right? And it's stereotypical. I hate when the studios do this. They have an Asian girl who's dressed like an anime character, right? With the long socks and the schoolgirl dress, the big round glasses, and then they have the black girl, right? And she's got the I don't know what they're called, the Mickey Mouse buns on the side, right? And she's sort of like a freewheeling, skateboarder, right? And then they have the Hispanic girl, the tough girl, okay? And then the Dakota Fanning, right? She's the white lady, and I hate when they use stereotypes for this kind of stuff. Sorry, right? So somehow Dakota Fanning starts having flash forwards, right? And she sees the girls getting jumped, right, and getting killed in this in the train. So she goes to save them, right? And she doesn't know why, and they don't know why, right? And then one of the girls yelling, "They're bringing kidnaps," and now the cops are after her. Okay, so what does she do? She goes. They run up to the street. They steal a cab. Right? How do you avoid the police the most? Steal a cab in New York. All right. So he steals a cab, right? And then she's trying to figure out how to save them, right? So she says, "Listen, you guys stay." They drive out to the woods. "You guys stay here, right? And I'm going to go figure things out." And she takes off in the car, right? And then while she takes off, the kids are like, "I'm not waiting around here. We're going to go up there." We saw a diner up the block. So they go up to the diner, right? And they're getting something to eat. And next thing you know, they're dancing on the table with a bunch of these guys. They look like that they just got off the third shift, right? No. Yeah, they were dancing like hookers. That's not who the Spider Girls I want to see, right? I want to see that they're smart, they're loyal, right? And they got some spider sense where they can act, okay? Now, meanwhile, the whole deal is these three girls it's been put into, Mama Webb's friend from Peru who stole the spider, right? That it's in his head that they're trying to kill him, okay? And then he's chasing them. So Dakota Fanning, right, takes these girls, and next thing you know, they're running around, and, hilarity ensues, right? Get to the end of the movie, right, and you sort of see it's to preview that they're going to be, Mama, meanwhile, Dakota Fanning got blind, right? Madam Web's blind, and she's got these three girls, and it's sort of like says that they're going to be like, the spider people that planet, and I can't really describe it because it was just so loosely put together. There was no beginning, no end. The middle sucked, and not a fan at all. Okay, so Sony, right? Do yourself a favor. Call Kevin Feige and say, dude, right? All we want is distribution. You do whatever you want with our characters. You know why? Because you're doing a hell of a lot better job with our characters, hence Spider-Man, Tom Holland, who is fantastic. He has the enthusiasm of a little kid, which is what we needed in the first couple Spider-Man movies. And then the next one, it's going to come out, right? He's going to mature, right? He's going to be in college, and you're going to start to see him coming out of his shell and becoming, a leader and a man. And that's all going to go in with the whole stuff that's coming up with the Kang universe, whatever they're going to call Avengers 4 or Avengers 5, and the Kang Dynasty, excuse me. And then they're going to go to Battle World and all that, right? It's, you know what? If you have nothing else to do, right? And you've already seen Aquaman and you've thrown up, right? Give this a watch. All right. Now, granted, for me to watch it again, I'm going to have to be chained back to the table and have it pumped into my brain. But not worth it. Okay? So, Sony, fix it. Kevin Feige, get over there, knock on the door, say, listen, I want to make money. You want to make money. You have no idea how to make money. Let me show you, and let's get it moving. All right? Madam Web, no skulls, no nothing. Right? I would give it a -72. Hey, Mad Darbarian.